My name is Turkana Ojore. I'm the chairperson and founder of Neema Poultry Enterprise. Neema Group is a group of young women. We started in 1998. I found 20 young ladies who had left school. We were like sisters. We could not separate. So we formed Neema and registered it as a registered group, self-help group. We came with an idea of keeping poultry. We wanted to improve our economic standards also, especially starting at the household level, because I focused, according to my vision, I focused to improvement of household. That's home, not to miss a meal. ADF gave us a grant for the pilot project. We purchased 1,000 chicks, and now we rented a house where we kept the poultry. You can see where I started, from the pilot project to expansion, where we have these permanent buildings. In Turkana County, we are the largest egg producers. So our peak production, this center can manage 1,000 eggs per day. It has built our relationship with other stakeholders, especially in food security. We supply eggs to Local Trading Center. Some of the members have retail shops, so that is where we take the eggs. And also we have hotels in Lodwar. We've been supplying eggs there. ADF have really helped us as a women's group. They have really supported us. And as Neema, we bank on ADF because all that, the picture we have is through their support.
I want you to look at the poultry industry from the agribusiness perspective, right? You're keeping chicken or you're managing a farm as a business. Are we together? You're managing a farm in that there has been a cost put in this farm and therefore you want to get a profit out of it. All right? There are two aspects that determine profitability of any farm whatsoever. That is the poultry breed, the chicken breed, and number two, the type of feed. Are you together? And that's why today we are going to really look at the two things, the best breeds and the best feed. All right? So you'll find that buying feeds from the shop or buying feeds from the agrovets and most companies, you find that the feed is not quality. Most of the feed is not quality. I'm not saying that all the feed bought in the agrovets and the shops is not quality. I'm saying some of it is not quality. So if you use this feed on your farm, you will find that you have the right breed and all other factors held constant, ceteris paribus. You have the right workers, the right experts, the right equipment, the right breed, but the production is not optimum because the quality of feed is poor. Are we together? And so, you as an expert, or you as someone who is interested in coming into the industry, you therefore have to know how to make your own feeds if the feeds you're buying are not quality and if the feeds you're buying are too expensive. So you have to make your own feeds to cut the costs of production. All right? So number two, you can say, as a graduate from campus, instead of looking for a job, you can create your own job. And that's how I personally started. When I finished university, I never looked for a job. I first created jobs. I had my own farm, and I realized that having your own feed is a game changer. When I was making my own feeds, that's how things changed. And so, making your own feeds is the best thing you can ever think of. All right? So you as an expert, you can make your own feeds for your farm, or you can make feeds for sale that are quality but at a cheaper price. Are you together? So let's quickly see, how can you make your own feeds? All right? What are the formulas? What are the requirements? Are you together? All right, thank you. When you're making your own feeds, there are two things that matter. All right? Actually, it is the availability of the raw materials, one, and the niche of chicken, the type of birds you want to feed, whether it's broilers or whether it is layers. Are you together? Then, what guides you in feed formulation? You as an expert, or you as an upcoming expert, what should guide you in feed formulation is DCP, digestible crude protein. Are you together? So you have to ensure that when you're formulating your own feed, the digestible crude protein, which is the DCP for chick mash, is between 18% and 20%. The DCP for chick mash should be at least 18%. Are you together? And if you are making for growers mash, the digestible crude protein, DCP, should be between 16% and 20%. That means it should be at least 16%. Are you together? And if you're making layers mash, the digestible crude protein should be at least 18%. Are you together? So, by having all this in mind, you say now, I have the requirements in terms of the DCP percentages. I know that if I have a DCP of at least 18% and 20% for my chicks, the growth rate is going to be optimum. All right? By 2 months' time, that is in 60 days' time, my chicks would have attained the right weight. They have moved from the chick stage. They are now at growers stage. Are you together? The weight gain in terms of the birds will be optimum. Are you together? So that now that you know the DCP percentages, the question is, how then do I implement these percentages into reality? Are you together? So, you now go to the next step. Step 1, you know the required DCP percentages. Step 2, you now go to source for raw materials. Are you together? You now have to source your raw materials. I told if you're making your own feeds, first exploit the easily available, locally available materials. Are you together? So, we have universally available ingredients. Number 1 is maize. Whole maize. Number 2, for you to make your own feeds, you need to have whole maize, you need to have soya, you need to have fish meal, you need to have lime, and you need to have sunflower. Sunflower can be substituted with simsim. Are you together? And it can be substituted with cotton. So depends with which among the three shall be easily available to you. Are you together? So then you go back to your initial requirement in terms of the percentages for the chick mash and the grower's mash and the layer's mash. Are you together? So these ones have a universal DCP percentage. Are you together? For example, maize has a universal DCP percent of 8.23%. Soya has a universal percent of 45%. Fish meal has a universal DCP percent of 55%. Lime has a DCP of 0%. Sunflower has a DCP of 32 to 34%. Are you together? So these are your core ingredients. You have their universal DCPs in mind. Are you together? So the next stage is now, how do you bring these all together to make a complete feed? There we go. Let's take, for example, we want to make a bag of layers mash. All right? So let's use 70 kilograms as our standard amount, or our standard weighing amount. Are you together? So we want to formulate a 70 kilogram bag of layers mash. In order for you to formulate a bag of 70 kgs layers mash, we need ingredients categorized into two categories. Are you together? The macro ingredients and the micro ingredients. Are you together? The major ingredients the major ingredients and the micro ingredients, or we call them the amino acids. Are you together? So if you get back to our main requirements in terms of ingredients, where we talk of whole maize and soya, sunflower, lime, and the cotton cake. So those are the macro ingredients. Are you together? So you take those ones, then you add the vital amino acids, then you have a complete feed.